In this video, we're going to talk about chemical formulas. Now, chemical formulas are how chemists represent the elements in a compound. So, a chemical formula will indicate the type and the number of atoms present in a compound. So, we use the atomic symbols to represent the type of atom. And then we use a subscript. And that is generally to the right of the atomic symbol. And this represents how many of each atom is in the compound. So if no subscript is listed, there is only one atom of that element present in the compound, and metals are always listed before nonmetals in a compound. So let's write that down. Metals are always listed before nonmetals in chemical formulas. So let's look at an example. We have two problems here. The first one, we're going to see how many atoms of each element are present, and then we're going to write the formulas. So go ahead and pause this video, and then you can come back and we will work this out together. All right, hopefully you took some time and you have some answers down. So in vitamin C, which is C6H8O6, we have 6 carbon atoms, 8 hydrogen atoms, and 6 oxygen atoms. And we get that based on this subscript right here. So I have carbon, and this subscript tells me that I have 6 carbon. I have H, which is hydrogen, and the subscript shows us that we have 8 of them. Now, baking soda, which is also known as sodium bicarbonate, has NaHCO3. So I have 1 sodium. Remember, if there's not a subscript right here, that means there is 1. 1 sodium, no subscript for the hydrogen, so I know I have 1 hydrogen. My next symbol is C. If I look on the periodic table, I can see that C is carbon. So I have 1 carbon. And then finally, the subscript for my element symbol O is 3. My element symbol for O is oxygen. So I have 3 oxygens. Now, in this next one, we need to come up with the chemical formula. So remember, when you're giving a formula, you're going to give the element name or the element symbol first, and then use a subscript to identify how much there are of it. So acetic acid, which is found in vinegar, is going to have two carbons. So I'm going to go find the symbol for carbon, which is a capital C, and it's going to have two of carbons. And then it's going to have four hydrogens. So the chemical symbol for hydrogen is H, and I'm going to have four of those. And finally, it has two oxygens. So I can look up the chemical symbol for oxygen, and I find it to be O, and it's going to have two of these. Now, something that can be really confusing when you're first learning chemistry is this can be written in a number of different ways. So C2H4O2 can also be written as CH3COOH. That is also going to be acetic acid. It can also be written as HC2H3O2. Notice every single one of these has two carbons, four hydrogens, and two oxygens. So these are all great examples of chemical formulas. Don't be alarmed if you see the chemical formulas in different areas presented in different ways. Finally, we're going to be cobaltic. We're going to do cobaltic chloride. Another name for this is cobalt 3 chloride. Now, this has one cobalt, so I'm going to write a capital C and a lowercase o to represent cobalt. And I only have one of them. Notice I don't have to write the one. And then I have three chlorines. So I look up my element symbol for chlorine. I find it to be Cl, and I need three of those. So the chemical formula for cobalt 3 chloride is CoCl3.